Attention all veterans and aspiring business warriors. Get ready to charge into the world of entrepreneurship with our dynamic podcast, Vet to Vet. Join us as we bridge the generational gap, bringing you the best of both the Gulf War era and the Afghanistan War era. From the battlefields to the boardrooms, we'll share the frontline strategies, hard-earned wisdom, and insider tips to help you conquer the challenges of business ownership. Stay tuned for some straight talk, occasional humor, and valuable insights to navigate the trenches of entrepreneurship. Welcome to Vet, where the spirit of service meets the drive to success.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Joe with Vet to Vet, Forge and Service. I'm going to be your host today. We're changing up a little bit. Tom's going to work here as the co-host. I wanted to do a special episode for the 4th of July. As veterans, there's certain holidays that mean a lot to us. It's more than just a barbecue. It's more than just gathering with a bunch of friends and having some beer. You know, there's actually some sort of meaning to it for us. As veterans, we went and we volunteered and we served and we fought for our country and we wanted to protect our freedoms, which is what the 4th of July is about. And I wanted to make sure that, we give a shout out to everybody that has in the past that has protected these freedoms, made the country what it is, and for those that are still doing it today and those that will do it in the future. I guess over the last 10 to 15 years, a lot of this has really started to go back, and I won't get political on this at all, but I've noticed it. There's just not that sense of, pride in, who we are. And so I wanted to give a shout out and what it means to us. Tom?
Yeah, I mean, it's Independence Day, right? So it's all about protecting freedoms. Even if you don't want to get political, I respect that for anybody. I don't have any issue getting political about it. There are a lot of things that happen within our society, within our peer groups, within the culture, that don't align with our best interests a lot of the times. And I think as individuals, if we're not willing to speak up or to stand on the ground that we believe in, it kind of goes back to like straddling the fence.
Yep.
You can't in the Bible, it's very clear that God hates lukewarm Christians, right? You either are all in or all out. What do we say all the time when we talk about business? You're all in,
We're all in,
or you're all out.
Yeah.
You can't just be right there in the middle. The same thing if you apply it to your personal life. You stand to reap the rewards if you just stand firm in what you believe in and you apply those principles to your life. And that's how we can continue to preserve the way of life that has allowed us all to live in the country that we live in now. You have to be willing to stand up and be a voice of reason.
And so, when it comes to the 4th of July, Independence Day, we fought for this freedom. We slowly see freedoms eroding quite regularly. And, I think that as a nation, we need to make sure that we stand together. There's none of this division within society. And every time, I hear that, all this division is occurring, it's who's telling us that? It's not me. It's not the people I hang around with. We're not creating the division. The division's being told to us.
Right.
And, we didn't fight for that. I didn't go fight in another land to protect freedoms of others and ourselves just to be driven apart. It's an Independence Day. We're free. And we need to make sure that we're protecting that. And those that have done it, there's unbelievable amount of gratitude that I have to those individuals and to those that are still doing it, to protect what we have, and we want to continue to protect that.
We're protecting our freedoms right now. Okay, so we're exercising our First Amendment right, freedom
Absolutely.
of speech. Okay, back to what you were saying, the media that you are ingesting is where you're seeing the division. Okay? You and I don't absorb traditional media in order to get our information and our knowledge. There's a wealth of very smart, very successful people that are just one click away on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. You can choose where you want to receive your information. I think if you're relying on your Facebook feed or Fox News or CNN, the ones that are saying like, we'll tell you what's important, those are probably the ones that you should avoid. We need to all be critical thinkers. I had a teacher when I was in, 11th grade. He was a former police officer, a youth pastor, great guy. His big thing was, it was a history class. I want you to have a working knowledge. And what that meant was, I don't want you as young adults to sit here and learn what I'm telling you to learn because you need to know it to pass a test. I want you to be able to break it down and make it make sense. Have a working knowledge. Be able to critical think. Because if you can do that, everything that you encounter out there in the world, you're just breaking it down into simpler terms in order to understand and reap the benefits of being able to manipulate the world to what you need it. I don't think that there are enough people that really focus on how to develop critical thinking skills, because we have an education system that just teaches people, here's your study guide, know these questions, and you'll pass the test. And They're like, woo, I passed the test. And they're like, great job. Now, next week, we're going to do it again because it's chapter 2. And then what's the week after that? Chapter 3. It's just regurgitating information, and they don't understand it. And then that's what's happening. That's what we're putting out here in the world. Yeah. You have people that, by and large, just grab the information that they need in order to satisfy the boss's demands, and then on to the next thing. And they're really not developing their personal skills. Personal development is key to everything that we do, because if you are a better person, you can better impact your family, your friends, your community, and everyone around you benefit. You lift everyone within your sphere to a higher level.
So, and I'll give this one out to Andy Frisella. He always says that, the ultimate form of rebellion is personal excellence.
Yeah, personal excellence is the ultimate rebellion.
Yeah. And I think that really ties into, how we need to move forward looking at, who we are as an American society. We need to make sure that we're putting forth that personal excellence every day.
I agree.
Stop buying into the division that we've got going on, the control that continues to continue to happen. 50% of your income goes to the government in one way or another.
Right.
I'm not saying rebel against the government, but personal excellence. Mm-hmm. Be your own individual. Be your own boss. Exercise that independence.
Right. Yeah, his big thing is, I mean, just think about it. It's really not rocket science. If you're seeing through traditional media outlets like fat shaming, all right? Why is fat shaming even a thing? In the 80s and 90s and well beyond, like, people like that were picked on, and some of those people go on later in life to win like Mr. Olympia awards because they have body positivity issues because they were picked on as kids. It's not inherently that bullying is a bad thing. It's that we've modified our culture to be like, we don't want anybody to understand what negative self-image feels like.
If everybody weak.
If think about it though, if some of these people were never picked on when they were kids, they never would have gone on to become huge figures in their respective areas, you know. So it really gets under my skin when we sit down and really start to look through the lens of personal development, because everywhere you look, you see how our culture now is different from how things were in the past. Obviously, that's not always a bad thing, but we keep catering things to the lowest common denominator,
Right.
and instead of raising the standards, we're lowering the standards. And what sort of implications do you think that actually has when we just keep lowering the bar? Education requirements get lower. Your personal image of yourself, your self-confidence gets lower. You know, what impact does that have everywhere? Your health goes down, right? Your work production goes down, your income goes down. I mean, it's not hard to figure out. If you work out more, you feel better, you eat better, you think better. Brendan Fraser on the that one movie where he made a wish with the devil to be a professional athlete. He's like, if you work good and you play good, and you know there's no I in team, you know, like it's so simple, and yet if it's not what you want to hear, then you look down on others. I saw a reel on Instagram the other day where a person was interviewing Nick Saban, and he asked the question, why are you such a control freak with your players? And he's like, well, I wouldn't say that I'm a control freak. What I would say is we have standards, and standards matter, because we are high performers, okay? High performers don't like mediocre people, and mediocre people don't like high performers.
Yeah.
You know, which circle do you want to be surrounded by? And if you don't have that circle, you can be the first person to create it. It raises up everyone within your life. That's what we need to do. That's how we preserve what we're doing out here in the world, in the community. That's how we maintain our independence. Yep. That's how we preserve our freedoms. It is exercising your voice, you know, just like voting with your dollars, okay? Yes, we vote at the ballot box, but that happens once every 4 years, okay? How can you more directly impact your community? Think about where you spend your money.
Yep.
You know, you vote every day, every time you spend money.
Absolutely.
I think that there's a lot that we can all do to come together, to work together. The military is like the biggest melting pot that exists. They call the United States the great melting pot because we're all immigrants from all over the world. Well, the military's the same freaking way. And they're, at least in the time that I, you know, between being in the military and as a contractor, I did that shit for 16 years. We've got people, we've got black people, we've got Asian people, we've got Indians, Middle Easterners, you know, gay people, and nobody gives a shit. We're all just there to do a job. We come together, we get the shit done. It's never even a topic of conversation.
Are you gonna cover me when I'm running?
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
Right. The only time that we're hard on each other is when somebody isn't qualifying. It's like, hey, motherfucker, let's get your shit together because you're holding all of us back. And then that's when everybody starts working with them to try to, like, come on, dude, we need to get you up to the standard.
Right. You know, and that goes back to that whole division. Don't buy into the division.
Right.
I'm not going to say that, you know, I'm not going to be naive here and say that, you know, there aren't assholes out there. There are, absolutely. Of all races, there's assholes. But
we're two of them.
But don't buy into this goddamn division. Yeah. It doesn't exist.
No.
Not in the real world. On the media side, absolutely.
Sure.
It's there. That's how they drive everybody apart. And they keep it under control.
I think if you just focus on doing the right thing, listening to that MFCEO project, that one of the very first episodes is, do you want to be successful in life? Do you want to be successful in business? Just do the right thing.
Yeah.
Like if you just apply that as a core value to everything that you do, like before you act, think about, is this the right thing to do? And have that long-term thought in mind. You're literally setting yourself up to be incredibly successful.
Yeah.
It really is not rocket science.
So guys, I didn't want to run this, 45 minutes to an hour. This was just, going to be a short shout out, and we have a tendency of going off on tangents, but again, it's the special 4th of July episode. I wanted to make sure that, we recognized everybody out there that has fought for the freedoms here, is fighting for the freedoms. Tom, you and I serve. Thank you for your service as well.
Well, thank you.
So, be good, do the right thing, exercise your independence and independent thought. Don't let people control how you think or what you think. It's, it's up to you, and that's how we preserve our independence, is doing what's right and thinking for ourselves.
Right. It's integrity, right? Do the right thing when nobody's looking, because it's the right thing to do.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Guys, make sure that if you like the content we're putting out, leave us a review, okay? This is super important to Joe and I. We're very passionate about being able to sit down here and share with you guys. So if you like what we bring to the table, if you've learned anything, give us some feedback, leave a comment, shoot us a DM, but please leave us a review. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, anywhere you guys see this, please leave us a review. Give us some feedback.
Oh, and we're hiring.
And that's right, we're hiring.
We're looking for inspectors.
So don't forget that too. Always reach out. Joe, happy 4th. Okay. Everybody go out, blow some shit up. Just don't blow your hand off.
Yeah. No blowing hands off. All right.
So,
That's all we got, guys. Catch you later.
all right. See you on the next one.